everybody. Thank you all so much for joining today. It was great to have you here and see you all here. It is a beautiful day, actually, here in Oklahoma. I am in Oklahoma City in Zone 7. It is absolutely gorgeous today. I mean, the sun's out right now, at least. We're going to be hitting 80 degrees today. It is just, yeah, spring is in full throttle right now, and it's amazing. I love it. And there's so much, like, I have so many things growing in my garden right now. It's exciting. And I would love to see and hear what you guys are all growing in your garden right now and where you all are joining us from. And welcome, everybody, for those of you who are new here. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the Seed to Spoon app. We started gardening back back over 10 years ago now. It's hard to believe. It seems like a lifetime ago, where neither one of us knew what we were doing, like, at all. And we turned our backyard. You can see our very first little garden beds right over there. And we taught ourselves and ended up filling our entire backyard full of gardens. And yeah, as you can see, we went wild with it. We had a lot of fun. But yeah, along the way, we were like, oh man, I really wish that there was a garden app or something like that to help us out. And Dale was like, well, why don't we just make one? And that way we can have it be everything that we want it to be. So that's where Seed to Spoon was born. We have, so here, let me pop up. Here we go. So it tells you, like, whenever you can plant. It tells you companion planting, which, hint, we're going to talk about today. Also has amazing features too, like Robot, where it can help you like go behind the scenes. You can take a picture, like, of a plant and send it up to Growbot and be like, what's wrong with my plant? Or what plant is this? And it will help guide you along the way. So it is super helpful. And yeah, it's saved my life like so many times. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. So anyways, I do want to say too that we are doing a giveaway today for a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription, pretty much everything that you can do in the app. I mean, there's so many things that you can do in the app that's free. And it gives you exact planting dates. It'll tell you companion plants, all of that we're talking about today. But also things like with the premium app, you can send up the pictures like we were talking about too. And then also you get free shipping on every single order that you place through Park Seed, which right there, oh my goodness, I say it's a saver, but like I end up getting way more myself, I think, because I'm just like, oh, I have one seed packet I need. I did that the other day and I was like, well, you know what? I need it. So yeah. Let's see. Hi, everybody. It's so great to see you all here. Oh, hi, Carol. Just planted some jade beans. Oh, nice. I love those. I'm planting a lot of beans myself too. Hi, Patty. Having a hard time getting my seeds I planted to sprout. Ugh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let us know in the comments what seeds you're having troubles with, and we'll see if we can all have some suggestions for you and try to help each other out. That's what I love about this community here, is everybody joining together and helping each other out. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Super informal. We're just going to hang out and chat about gardening today. So be chatting with you guys too. And also, every time that you all do comment into the chat, you get entered in to win a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription, like I already said, and then along with some Park Seed seeds that I'll be talking about several different varieties and things like that today that are really good for companion plants. So yes, it's exciting. Last week, so we do these every single week, every Tuesday, same time, same place. Let's see here. Let me pull up the winner from last week. So we do a giveaway for you all that are here joining us live. And then I always feel so bad because there's so many people too that like they're unable to join us at this time because they're working or something like that, you know. But I always want to include them in a giveaway too. So after this posts, after this is done, if you go in and comment in, you're entered in to win another app subscription as well. And I announce that winner at the beginning of the next week. So if you're watching this after the fact, don't worry, you can still be entered in to win. Just comment in the comment section. Let's see. So last week, let me pull it up. Sorry, give me a second. I'm alone today, so I'm used to having at least somebody else to help me out here and to pull up comments. So I am going to try my very hardest to keep up with all of your comments and all that too, and talk. So, so congratulations to C7S. So send me an email at info@seedtospoon.net and I will get you all hooked up with your free giveaway from last week. Okay. Yeah, I feel you, Paige. We actually just got a ton of rain a few days ago, but before then we were in like such a big drought. Like we still technically are, but I still have like flooded areas in the yard, so it's kind of funny. I'm like, how? Yeah. Yay! Welcome, Peachy. It's my first time doing this and using this app. It's already been helpful with starting seeds. Unfortunately, I started beans too early. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, luckily, hopefully you have other beans that you can plant in its place. So yeah, that happened, especially if it was too cold. Yeah, beans definitely like the warmth. I did go in and do my beans like this last week, which was technically a little early, but I was like, I don't think we're going to be having any more frost or anything like that. So I was like, I think we're good. So I do have some just going right now. Okay, so let's jump into it. It's going to be a really great giveaway today, as we already talked about. So one thing I do want to mention for this topic that we're talking about today. So all of this, I know I'm going to throw probably a lot of information at you and a lot of this is a good companion, this is a great one, but I know it's a lot of information and you're probably not going to remember most all of it, which is fine because you have the Seed to Spoon app. You can, here, let me pull it up really quick and I can kind of show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So there's several places where you can find companion planting information. So whenever you're within the app, if you come up here to growing guides, and so say you're planting beans. So you go into the beans section, companions right here. And then if you go down, you can see all of the good friends right there and all of that. So all of these are really good companions for them. And then as well, right here, these are enemies. So things that you may not want to plant next to them. So this is helpful too because there are so many good companions and bad companions, things that you want to put together, things that you don't necessarily want to. So, and for different reasons. So companion planting is super beneficial for, a lot of different reasons, and we'll talk about a lot of them today. But with companion planting, there's some companion plants that are really good for things like pests or diseases or viruses or you name it. It is super helpful. Sometimes it just helps because it helps with like flavor enhancing, things like that. Also, enemies, they might conflict with sun or with, yeah, lots of different reasons, but makes it super easy right there because it's all in the Seed to Spoon app. It's right there. You could just pull it up. So yes, today, listen and join in, but you can also be pulling it up here too. Also too, I want to mention in the visual garden layout, if you are going in, if you are planting, so this is actually one of my garden beds and I was planting out some beans the other day. And as I was planting it out, I saw that I had some some garlic over here. I was like, oh, I better not put that too close. But it'll warn you here too if you put it next to something that maybe it's not such a great companion for. It'll give you like a little red X right there. So just kind of a little warning being like, hey, you may not want to have that there, you know? Um, so yeah, some helpful things right there, all in the Seed to Spoon app that I wanted to point out for you all too. So, and all that I showed you is free. You don't need to have any of that with a premium subscription or anything like that. Okay. Oh, and it looks like we're joined in with Lannie here. Let me add you in. Hi.
Hi, I am so sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thanks so much for joining. So everybody,
Yes.
this is Lannie with Gingerfoot Garden. Here, I'll go back up
Hi,
here.
everyone.
So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lani. I handle Gingerfoot Garden, and I garden in Maryland, a small in my small backyard.
Yeah. So, oh man, I met you. How many years ago was it now? Like three,
Three, yeah, I want to say
3 years
three.
ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually grew. So at the same time, it was really fun. We both did a salsa garden at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, and it grew like all the like same similar things, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
Well,
grew
I'm
it in
excited.
a grow bag. It was so cool.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love smart pots. I had mine in a big round raised bed, and we had like the perfect little salsa garden. We had companions in there too, like we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about today, and all of that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was great to invite Lannie today because I was like, we're talking about like companion planting and friends. I was like, I need to invite somebody to join me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm
So,
actually learning at the same time as well. Like as you were talking about the beans and the garlic, it's so cool. I actually didn't know that.
oh yeah, yeah. So I actually, so in my mind, I always know that peas and garlic don't belong together because I'm usually planting them in the same season. And then as I was planting beans, I was like, oh, I bet that beans are the same as peas. So I double
Mm-hmm,
checked in the app, but that's the reason I don't have everything memorized. I mean, nobody
hmm.
nobody has everything memorized and knows all of
Right.
that.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's see. I saw a few questions. So Pichu is asking, using your app, does it give space between plants or do you need to adjust that? So if you're talking about like in here, if you're in the visual garden layout, um, so it'll tell you to like how many per square foot. I don't know if you can see my mouse circling, maybe. But down on the bottom, so it says times 4 where the beans picture is. And that just shows how many beans I have per square. So it kind of reflects like square foot gardening. If you want to change that, you can. You can tap into it because it automatically pulls up what the square foot gardening recommendations are. But if I wanted to change it, say to like 2, that's actually what I wanted to do. It'll change it and it'll say 2 down there instead. So hopefully that's kind of what you were asking. Let's see. Here, I come back over here. Okay. Oh no. MD says, what happens when you direct sow seeds and then forget about watering them? Oh no, I'm sorry. Can I start watering again or do I need to plant more? Well, I mean, it depends on how long you forgot about them, I guess, too. I'm definitely guilty of this. I've done it too. You're not the only one. I think everybody's done it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it were me, I would personally start watering again and then see if it does it. And if it doesn't, plant more. I mean, in the app, it'll show you like, I know I keep coming back right here, but it will show you, and this has saved me many times. So if you click into here, it'll tell you like, this is when I planted it. So I planted a few days ago, and it'll say right here when it's estimated to seed sprout. So that's kind of how you would know to like, so if you're past that and you forgot about them and weren't watering them, and probably they're not going to sprout. But if you're still like right there, I mean, give it a try, see if you can. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, which I have 2 days left and then my beans might be sprouting. Yay. It's exciting. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat here too. Um, Here, I'll answer a couple of these questions before we move up really quick. So Kim says, "Is it too late to sow carrots in Texas?" Um, I mean, probably. But if you come in here into the growing guide section, you can go down to carrots and it'll come down here and it'll give you the exact dates here. So even for me in zone 7, and I'm in Oklahoma right above you, yeah, it's a little late for me. But I mean, that being said, I was out there last week starting some carrots, some seed tape, but I was doing it in like a shaded area that's going to get some afternoon shade. So I was trying to like extend the growing season a little bit that way. So I mean, you could absolutely try like putting it somewhere that's going to get some afternoon shade. Try to extend it a little bit.
Yeah, I do the same thing because I actually have not sown mine as well, but I need to get
Yeah.
out there and do that. Yeah, I can't wait to try the seed tape.
Oh my gosh, yes. The carrot seed tape is the best. That's what I was doing. I was thinking the rainbow seed carrot tape. I like it.
Yeah, I can't wait because I have been having a trouble with sowing carrots. For some reason, they would sprout and then they would not do well. But what I ended up doing is just sprinkling them on the bed. But then you don't. It's hard to control the spacing. But when you have the seed tape, it's a lot easier to do that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I can never remember. I typically will remember to water, but I won't remember to go back in and thin them down.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
Mm-hmm.
drop in like 3 or 4 seeds per hole, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, and then I have carrots, they're all intertwined and yeah. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, and while we're on the subject of carrots, yes, Cami, carrots do really well in smart pots. So I,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a 5 gallon is plenty, like plenty deep for carrots to
Mm-hmm.
grow. So absolutely. Um, Sorry, I will eventually here really quick before we go back to companion planting. I did see this question. Is there a better way to map out seedling trays or just create a garden bed layout in the app? So let me show this really quick because this is a feature of the app that has been a lifesaver for me. So I have several like these in here, but whenever you come in here, you can add a new garden bed. We'll say it's a seed tray. Sorry, I have a lot of gardens, as you can see. So, okay. Oh, I actually had oops. I had several seed trays. This is not the one I just started, but that's fine. You guys get the idea. So this one looks like a seed tray right here. And but if I click into here, this is the one I just now created. So right up here where it says garden bed, you can have it be a garden bed, but I have either park seed biodomes because I use biodomes. And then if you have a biodome, you can select 18 cell, 40 cell, 60 cell, and it'll adjust the size right here. This is huge for me. And then seed trays, you can select your seed tray size, 36 cell for, all that. And then, or you can do a custom size that you want to do. But yeah, this is super helpful. I do this for all of my seeds. Like I kid you not. Because oh man, a few years ago, like I was writing labels for every single plant that was in there. And it took me so long. Like, so this is like probably my favorite part of the app is the ability to be able to do this and just know what is planted in each of my seed trays. Like, yeah. So, okay. Sorry. There's a lot of questions here. I need to have just like a session here just for questions, I feel like, too. Here, I'm coming back. I'm not forgetting you guys. I'm going through and I'm starring questions that I have missed or that, but, and then we're gonna hop into here. Okay. So tomatoes is probably my favorite plant to companion plant with, just like Lannie and I were talking about earlier with the salsa gardens, right? This is probably one of my top plants that I always make sure I am companion planting for. because it helps with so many different things, because you can have so many different viruses, pests, and just issues in general if you don't. So, companion planting is, yeah, it's the best. So, for tomatoes, these are just a few of my favorite companions, and there are a lot of great companions. Um, Lanny, what's your favorite companion for
Oh,
tomatoes?
for me there are two, always two.
Okay.
Marigold and basil, those two.
Yep.
I can never grow tomato without those two.
Yeah, that's exactly me. And I know I don't necessarily have to start like marigold and basil indoors in the
Mm-hmm.
springtime, but I always do, because I always want to have transplants of them out with to go out with my tomatoes. So that way, like, I immediately have my protection out there with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I have
Mm-hmm.
like a fortress around there.
Yeah, yeah. And actually the cool thing about marigold is usually at the end of the season, I would sprinkle some of the this what do you call this? The spent flowers. I would
Uh-huh.
just sprinkle them on the soil, and then come spring, they started popping up, and those usually are the ones I would plant, and so a lot of times I don't even really have to restart the seed starting.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah. So it's like with zinnias too, because I do that same thing with zinnias too. At the end of the season, I just let it do its thing, have it sprinkle its seeds and plant itself everywhere.
Yeah,
But
I need to do that.
yeah, yeah. So another flower that is really good are nasturtium. Have you ever grown nasturtium with tomatoes?
I have not actually, but I've grown as. Wait a minute, I did. I have actually. When we did our salsa garden, I put some seeds. I tucked them in, and then once they started growing, they started sprawling over the grow bags. It was so cool. It was so pretty.
Oh, I love nasturtium. And so it was one, I've always done basil and marigold together. Like that was just my first beginning intro into companion planting. And
Mhm.
then a few years ago, I started branching out and doing some more different and unique things like the nasturtium and calendula. And they worked amazing too. Like I actually had one, so last season I had a tomato plant,
Mhm.
and then I had it surrounded by a marigold, a nasturtium, a calendula, a basil. Like I literally had like all of them around it. And seriously, it was probably my healthiest tomato plant that I had out there.
Mm.
I was
I
like,
believe you.
yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, so nasturtium works interesting. It's like almost like a backwards way that it works, because it works as a trap crop for aphids. So it attracts in the pest and kind of like sacrifices itself for your tomato plant.
Mhm.
So it is super helpful for that reason, but it's also just, I mean, gorgeous, like super
Mhm.
pretty.
Mhm.
Um,
And
yeah.
edible too.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
haven't tried it myself. Have you?
I have, but it's peppery.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. I've heard
Yeah,
the
so
same
I
thing about marigold.
I didn't really enjoy it that much, so I just enjoy the flowers. But
Yeah.
if you want to add it as a garnish, it's cool. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. I absolutely agree. Carol says nasturtiums are so hard to get to sprout. Any suggestions to get them to sprout better? So I do know I have some nasturtium that I've started indoors, and I started them in a biodome. Um, and I mean, they're coming up nicely. I think, oh no, I do have one right here. I was gonna say, I think most of mine are hardening off outside right now, but I do have one tray in here, and I have some nasturtium right here. There it is.
Nice.
You can see
Oh,
those
that's
little
nice.
leaves. Yeah, so I mean, it's growing really well, but the trick too with nasturtium, it doesn't love to be transplanted. So
Mhm.
whenever I do start them indoors, I start them in the biodome here to make sure that
Thank
it like has as little disturbance as possible whenever I'm
you.
transplanting it out, because I'm not going to lose any soil. This is like a little sponge. It's super unique. If you haven't seen the Park Seed Biodome, like these make transplanting like effortless. Like it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It is.
so if you are having trouble outdoors, like definitely give it a try indoors. And if you do, try it in the biodome because it'll make transplanting a lot easier. And just things just always seem to work better in the biodome. Like it always just works great. Um, and then also that being said too, they will do better for you if they are direct sown in the warmth. So
Mm,
just make sure that it's plenty warm out before you do start them. So maybe those are some issues.
yeah. I wonder also if like soaking it for one day will help, because it's almost like the same thing
Yes.
with biodome, right? It's almost like it's basically soaked the whole day or all throughout basically, and it has really good moisture. It could also be the factor why she's having a hard time with sprouting, because also with mine, like if I forget to water it, I a lot of times it doesn't sprout. So I normally would put like one or two per hole. That
Mhm.
way there's just to increase the chances of at least having one sprout.
Yeah, absolutely. It is interesting too because Nicole called this out too. She was asking, well, would the soaking the seed overnight help the nasturtium germinate? And yeah, it's very similar to like beans and peas, like the
Hmm.
size of them too. Um, I was gonna say I probably have some seeds sitting right here next to me. I've been doing so much seed starting. I have them all sitting right here on my table.
Hmm.
But yeah, they're very large seeds too. So yes, absolutely soaking them. Also like scarification of the seeds. So if you like almost take like a nail file and like just file it a little bit, that could help as well too. So um so peonies and pinks was asking how long does it take for the sponges to break down? Um I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I don't ever really pay attention. So I don't have a great answer for that. I'm sorry. But I always just plant them out directly in that sponge outside, and I never have any issues. It goes like straight through the side. I
Hmm.
mean, you saw the roots coming out of the sides, like it just comes out immediately. Oh, and also another question too. Can you reuse a sponge if the seed doesn't germinate? I definitely have before, as long as there's no issues with like mold or fungus or anything like that.
Hmm.
You can definitely reuse it.
Yeah. Maybe soak it in hot water or something like that, just to
Yeah, that's
sanitize
a good
it.
call. Yeah. MD says, since garlic and leeks are similar, are they a good companion substitute for garlic with the tomatoes? Um, I mean, I can double check this really quick for you too. Unless Lanny, you know off the top of your head. I imagine it's
I
true.
want to say it's true. Yeah, I want to say I do plant garlic, and even because if you think about, we also did what's that one, chives, when we did the
Yeah.
salsa garden, and they did really well. Like,
Yeah.
as long as with chives, as long as
Garlic,
they are
onions.
able to get sunlight, they're usually fine. But you can
Yeah.
definitely double check.
Yeah, it says garlic, onions, leeks, chives, all of those show as good companions. Yep.
Mm, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So here. So this is the biodome right here. And it comes with the lid here. I have the lid off. Sorry. Let me go off here for a second. Oh, and then this is the lid. I have it off right now because once these all start coming up, I take the lid off. Here, I'll put it back on too, so that way you can see what it looks like. So it's right here. So this is the Park Seed Biodome right here. It works amazing for seed starting. Like this is pretty much what I use for like 95% of my seed starting, pretty much. But yeah, this works amazing. It just creates like a little mini like greenhouse effect in here. And I have amazing germination rates in here. Like it just works incredible. So and then I have the little vents on top of it too, so I can control like if I want to add a little bit of airflow in there or anything like that. So let's see. Nicole is asking, can you plant store-bought garlic that is going to sprout? Yes, absolutely. Um, I've done this many times myself too. You just won't get like as good of a like selection of different varieties that you can find if you go to somewhere like Park Seed or places like that. Because I really like growing like the purple garlics and also like elephant garlic. Love it. It's amazing. And you can't always find that in local places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, these are all I included all these because these are like my top favorites for tomatoes. I feel like so. Yeah, but not to say like I showed you guys the list. There are so many there that are really good too. Um, so on the same idea of companion plants, which are plants that do just incredible with those with tomatoes. There's also enemies. So plants that are not good companions that you do not want to have them together for various reasons. So several of these here on the list. So like potatoes. I mean, might they also share a blight risk with tomatoes? So they could be sharing diseases. You do not want that. Corn, it could attract the same pests as tomatoes. So you don't want to really like be sharing those pests. So that's why having things like the marigold and nasturtium, like things like that, it helps break it up a little bit. So the pests all don't want the one thing. And then things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, all of those, they'll compete with the tomatoes for nutrients. So you'll end up with both of them kind of being a little sad looking. So not the best. And then, of course, I mean, fennel, you're probably going to see a lot about fennel because they are, whenever fennel is planted in like the same soil as plants, they inhibit the growth of the plants around them. So fennel is pretty much like a an enemy to most everything. So keep fennel by itself. It's beautiful and works great, but yeah, it doesn't play well with others. And like I said too, like there's even more on that list over here for tomatoes too. So enemies. I mean, you can see like there are other plants that you may want to keep away from it. I mean, even things like pole beans because they might, get in the way of the sun and all of that. Like there's definitely like a lot of different things to be keeping in mind whenever you are planning out your garden. Yes, this is a good call out. Fennel only grows well with dill. I guess dill is really nice, huh?
They're cousins too, right? Dill and fennel. I think they're cousins.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
can
actually,
yeah,
I
so
want to
okay.
mention. Sorry.
Yeah, you go.
Actually, want to mention with tomatoes. I forgot to mention this one earlier. One of the reasons why I like the marigold and basil a lot is because like they attract the beneficial insect, the parasite that basically lays egg on the tomato hornworm. So a lot of times for me, I don't ever need to handle or even chase or look for the tomato hornworm because a lot of times those the parasitic insect is the one that's
Mhm.
dealing with the pest, which is great for me. And I think I it helps a lot when you have those companion plants because they basically attract those beneficial insects.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I mean, even last year I found one like the entire season. I found one tomato hornworm. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is weird."
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
again, like it really does like companion planting really does work. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. Like
It
some
does.
people are always like, like no, it actually works really well. And
Mm-hmm.
it is really important to know your friends and your enemies and how to
Mm-hmm.
play in your garden and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and along the same line, like everybody always like is scared of the wasps out in the garden, but I'm like, nope, nope. I'm
My
not gonna be
friends.
scared of them because they are our friends. They're handling my tomato hornworms. Like I'm
Yeah.
good.
Oh, true story earlier. I was doing something in the kitchen and all of a sudden I hear like something flopping and I was like, what was that? And I checked. For some reason there was a wasp that got inside the house. So
Oh
if it was
no.
my husband, he would be like, "Oh my goodness, what's that?"
Ah,
He's most likely going to kill it, but I found a way to trap it so I could take it outside. And that's, I it just reminded me of the story earlier.
oh man. I love it. Oh, this is a really good question too from Grace. So when something is an enemy, how far apart do they need to be spaced? So this isn't a really easy question to answer because it really just depends on why they're enemies, if that makes sense. So, like with the fennel and or with the sunflowers that Cami called out earlier, those are things like in the soil. Like those are issues with soil touching. So, um, but if there's something that maybe they might repel the same or attract the same pests in or something like that, if you separate them by like a marigold or something like that too, or a basil or an oregano or something along those lines, to help break it up a little bit, typically that's going to be fine. That's kind of how I handle it, at least for me. Do you have a better answer for the
With me, sometimes I would put them, yeah, a little bit further, or if it's really, especially for a large plant, like it, a lot of times I would put them in a different container,
Mhm.
because it's a lot easier. They don't really have that much issue when I put them in a separate container, of course, or like in the very edge of the bed. That way, it's not really affecting the other plants that much. Because I've done that with sunflower, and I haven't had any issue. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think what you're saying, just putting like an extra plant or so that can like break basically the space, that would be a better idea.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Paige, we are going to cover that right now. so, so a lot of these top companions right here for squash are actually because they will help with the squash vine borers and squash bugs, all of that. Like, seriously, nobody has battled squash bugs as much as
Mm.
I have. I feel like I know
Oh, oh.
everybody probably says that, but oh my gosh, yeah. I 'Cause I love zucchini. I absolutely love zucchini. I
Mhm.
grow way too much because I just love to grow and cook with it. Like, it is just so much fun. Um, so I have done my fair share of experimenting with what works really well. And I will say, like, a lot of these have worked, like, really, like, have worked. Um, so dill is a really good one because it will bring in a lot of, again, like the predatory wasps and things like that. Um, and then the mint. So mint is probably my very favorite one. Like, it just worked. But as I say that, I know hopefully a lot of you know that mint can be considered invasive and take over like an entire space if you plant it out. But if you put it in like a little small container. So I had mint growing in a little 1 gallon smart pot that I brought outside, and I put it literally at the base of my squash plant. And I had it in its little container, set it next to my squash, and that was my best squash that year. I was like, okay, I need to do this every year now.
Mm.
But yeah, it's definitely, I mean, mint and dill are two of my favorite, along with radish. So I do need to call out like daikon radish. So this is an amazing one as well too, believe it or not, for the squash vine borers. So it's just a really good distraction for them, and they find your radish instead of your squash, which is amazing right there.
Mm. I'll
Yeah,
have
it
to try
sounds like
those.
yes, yes. Yeah, it sounds like Desiree knows all about the radish too. Yes, it works really
Mhm.
well. Yes,
Yeah,
inherited.
I've tried marigold. It didn't really help that much.
No,
Yeah.
no. Unfortunately, I know marigold. I'm like is just the be all and end all companion plant, but not for squash bugs though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately. This is a really good call out here from Peonies and Pinks. Yes. I put foil around the base of a squash stem where it meets the soil too. Yeah. This is a great call out because this will help where this, so the squash vine borer, what it's doing is it's looking for like the base of your squash stem, and it goes in, it like almost like drills a hole in, lays its egg in the inside of your squash, and it's disgusting. Like I have some really gross videos and pictures of it. I don't have it here with me today, but I promise I will show you here soon. But it's very gross. But essentially, it kills it from the inside out. So if you wrap that base around, which is a little bit of foil, it helps to make it so they can't lay their egg there. So definitely helps. Uh oh. Lewis Acre Farm says, I never battled squash bugs until you started talking about them a couple years
Oh
ago.
boy. They found you.
It was all my fault. No, that's funny. No, it's so I will say the very first year we were growing zucchini, we grew so much and had zero issues. It was incredible. And then the next year we were like, yay, it's squash season again. And we're like, oh, what is going on here now? Because they found
Mhm.
us. So yeah, that's the issue is like usually it's like the first year or two, you're like, yeah, this is going great. And then the squash bugs will just, yeah.
They ruin it.
Yes, squash bugs ruin everything. um, so Joe is saying, do you do it above or below the soil with the foil? So I do it right above, like right at the soil line. I go through and just wrap it a little bit right there. And Wendy was saying, does it matter what kind of radish? So I've always heard that daikon radish works better than others, but I've always just used whatever radish I have on hand, really. Have you found any specific varieties or anything, Lanny?
Oh no, I actually have not tried that. These ones that you are mentioning, these are all
Mhm.
new to me, honestly. I don't. I feel like I have tried beans, but no, I have not tried. Yeah, so I'm actually excited to try this because it's like the ones that I've done. I have done celery with um with squash, but I have to, of course, because they're
Oh,
both hungry plants. So
uh-huh.
it just for some reason it worked in a way that the because I grow mine vertically, so it basically shades a portion of the celery. So they
Mhm.
are like they're really growing well. But because I was thinking also that it should help with confusing the bugs, but I don't know. The celery went well. I got a good harvest of squash as well, but it didn't really last that long. Eventually, the squash win. But all
Yes.
these things that you have mentioned, I have not tried. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we all need to learn something.
Yeah. I mean,
I,
they're both
I
hungry
am always
plants, so you
learning
gotta
myself
separate
too.
them.
What's that?
So you gotta separate them. It's like you plant them in different square foot basically, but I think I water them constantly, and I was growing them in raised beds. So I don't know why. I don't know if that is the reason why they were not having issue with with drying out, because I definitely
Yeah.
didn't have that. The celery did really great, and yeah, but the other things, it's I haven't really tried it yet. I'll try it this year for sure.
Yay. Here are a few questions. So, unfortunately, I do not have a picture of it on hand. I'm sure I do somewhere in my phone, but I don't have it right here. But I mean, if this helps you at all, it was in, I don't know, let's see if I can So like it was actually in like one of these round raised beds like this. I had this squash growing on like the side of it. And then I had a like just a little container literally sitting like right up against it too. So it was like almost just like intermixed with it, but it was by itself. So that way the mint doesn't take over the entire bed because I didn't want to take it over all of it. I love mint, but I didn't want the entire bed to be mint. So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I mean, if that helps you visualize it at all, I'm sorry I don't have a picture. And yes, I would grow the radish like right up against that squash, right next to it. The better, the closer, the better. Okay. So again, just like we were talking about with the good ones, there's also enemies for squash too. And again, with the fennel does not play well with squash. It will inhibit its growth and it will not perform well. Um, Again, with potatoes too. Potatoes, I so whenever I grow potatoes, I do potatoes like in their own containers. I grow them like in the corner of my garden too because they're almost like yeah, I just keep them by themselves.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because they need a lot of stuff themselves and they will compete with each other. They attract a lot of the same diseases as a lot of the plants I'm growing at the same time. So I typically try to keep my potatoes like segregated. Um, and then also like melons too. They're all going to be like that's very similar too because they attract the same pests. They will also compete for nutrients too because they're very heavy feeders too and they'll try to yeah, it'll make both of your plants just not do well. Um I saw somebody was asking about cucumbers and I was like, "Oh, we will talk about cucumbers here in just a minute." So, um with insects, the biggest thing you need to worry about for cucumbers are cucumber beetles. And those are, I wonder if I have a picture saved in here. No, I don't. They essentially look like a ladybug, but yellow instead of red. So you'll know what I mean when you see one. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that. That's the main insect that you need to be worried about for cucumbers. But hopefully, if you're companion planting, you won't have to worry about it at all.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. So Sherry was asking too, what trellis do you like for squash? Probably for you because you were talking about trellising your squash.
Oh, for me? Oh, so I actually just do so I use one stake because I like
Mhm.
growing it up. So I basically use one stake. The only time it gets harder is when so there are varieties that only grow one straight vine, but there are also a few varieties that I've tried. Like one the off the top of my head is the lemon squash. They produce different side shoots that produces more squash, which is great in a sense if you wanted more production. But if you're growing it vertically, where I basically just stick a sturdy stake, I usually do like 7 foot, and they're usually a little bit thicker, and I support it some kind of way by like adding another vertical no or no horizontal stake to make it more sturdy, but usually just one stake, and I grow it up. They usually grow up to 4 feet, and I just really just cut or prune the bottom leaves that way I could grow it up, and that's what I find to be the most productive for me because it's easier for the bees to find them, and it's easier for me to control the squash bugs. I can find them a lot easier.
Yes. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's similar to what I do for my squash too, because I put like a T post in the ground and just
Mhm.
almost like tie it up there just to try to train
Mhm.
it. But
Yes.
like, because they
Mhm.
aren't like true vining, but like
Right.
I try to do as much as I can to grow vertically so that way I can keep a
Mhm.
close eye
Mhm.
on them.
Mhm.
But if we're talking like spaghetti squash and things like that, I love using the arch. Let me see if I have, I know I have a picture in here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, so these arches, I love using these cattle panel arch trellises, and I grow all sorts of like melons and vining squashes and things like that up them. I also use just like I have these stationed at different places in my garden too. It's just a cattle panel again, just propped up on some T posts. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing trellises. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so cucumbers is another big one to for companion planting, especially because of the cucumber beetles. You don't want cucumber beetles coming around because they spread like the mosaic virus and like it's just they're they're never great to have around. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so again, radish. You see, if you have no other reason to grow radish, use it as a companion plant at least. Like it really does work great for companion
Mm-hmm.
plant.
And
Uh,
their leaves are actually really good. They're
yes.
like spinach.
Yeah. Nice. Um, yes. And this is a really good call out too. It looks like cucumbers would work well as a substitute for squash in the Three Sisters method. Absolutely. Yes, because cucumbers vine and they need a trellis also. So it can use sunflower, it can use pole beans, like all of those. There's a lot of helpful things that work really well together with cucumbers. And also, again, with the nasturtium plants, I love nasturtium. Um, Again, I know I thought it was funny. Desiree was saying I wasn't big on the idea of flowers, but when I learned about companion planting, yep, it definitely is worth looking at, even if you're not somebody that's into flowers, because it helps so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then again with the enemies for cucumbers. I know you guys are going to get tired of me talking about potatoes, but keep your potatoes separate again from your summer plants here. Um, and then again with the melons, they're just going to compete. So keep away like all of your similar like squashes and melons and cucumbers, like all of those plants. Keep them with their own area. Give them their own trellises so that way they have their own space. They're good to go. Yeah. And then a random one that I put on here too that I wanted to call out was sage. It is known to inhibit cucumber growth, which was interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
because I love sage, it's definitely one that I like to grow, and I wouldn't have thought of it as a bad companion. So that's one I always try to key in right there to remember. And then, of course, we have to talk about peppers too, because that's just, I mean, everybody grows peppers, I hope at least, because it's like one of my favorite things to grow because they're just one plant gives me so many peppers and it's so much fun. And it wouldn't do that without these amazing companions. So it's very similar to tomatoes for peppers. So a lot of the very similar ones you'll notice again. I did add in a couple of new ones to try to keep it interesting and keep it a little bit different from tomatoes. But seriously, though, like peppers and tomatoes are very similar and they will like very much of the same thing. But I did add in like zinnias too because they'll bring in pollinators and beneficial insects and things like that. So zinnias are amazing as long as they're not like shading out your peppers. So if you put them right next to them, make sure they're not like the huge zinnias, which I love. There's definitely a place for huge zinnias in your garden somewhere, but not right next to your peppers. Um, yeah, and then oregano is also a really good one too, because it's like a really good flavor enhancer of the peppers. Yeah, so yeah, I like all those. And then enemies, again, of course, fennel. It competes with everything.
Poor fennel.
I know, poor fennel, but I have to put it on there because like it's like I
Mhm.
have to yeah, and then keep it away from your brassicas. So like your broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all of those. And then also beans too. So beans, it's an interesting one. So you want to keep the beans away from the pepper plants. So
Oh,
okay, I'm
so
trying
this
to.
might be why. That might be why my beans didn't do well. The ones that I planted a little bit close to pepper.
Yeah, yeah, it is interesting too. If once you
It
start looking
is.
into paint, you're like, oh, maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here I saw a few questions come up. A companion planted 8 carrots and 1 garlic. Covered with cardboard, watered in, lifted the cardboard 10 days later, seeing garlic 3 inches tall. Wow. Carrots half-inch hair like. Now what? I mean, you could see if it will recover. I mean, half an inch isn't like super huge. I mean, I would give it a little bit of time and see how it goes if it will recover from you. The garlic, I'm sure, will be just fine, even though it's 3 inches tall. But garlic is so resilient. But I keep an eye on those carrots, and if they get a little bit stronger looking, I think they'll be fine. And I think just like taking that cardboard off and having it exposed to the sun and the wind and the elements and all that, it should help make it a little bit stronger too. Um, Yay! I'm so glad that it's been helpful. Yeah. I seriously do this all the time, and it saved me the other day too. Like, 'cause I was talking with you too, lady,
Mm-hmm.
um about the beans and garlic because I was out. Let's see, I was in this bed right here and I was planting out this row and I was like, oh, I'll do another row. And I was like, oh, I can't do beans over
Mm-hmm.
here. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I had to pause right there and I was like, okay, I'll think about what to plant there now. So now I had to take a pause and come inside. But yeah. um So yeah, and I do want to call out too. So I saw a lot of questions. I know I was not able to cover like every single plant because I mean honestly, if Lanny and I covered every single plant, we would be here like for days on end straight
Yeah.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
So um but I do want to let you know to like come in here to the growing guide section. I really encourage you to come in here, tap on a plant, and you can come down to companions. You can see all of the really good companions for those plants. It is super helpful feature. Everybody can have access to this. Yeah, super helpful. So definitely go check that out. And one of you is about to get a free 1 year premium Seed to Spoon access as well. So very exciting. Um, Here, I'm going to pull up a question for you, Lanny, and then I'm gonna run the giveaway and put it in here. So the Crispo was asking, should I remove the top of last year's soil from my raised bed gardens? What do you think about that?
So I don't typically do that. So the best thing for me is the to top it off with compost. Actually, at the end of every season, and this is usually my goal, even though it doesn't always happen. But my goal is usually just to top the raised bed with some compost, and then put some mulch. Um, a lot of times, actually, what I find is the soil normally would settle down a little bit, so it's a good time to add some compost. And if there's a significant amount, I would add some more, what do you call that, some more soil, if it settles down a lot. But a lot of times it's adding a compost is just the best thing to do with that. If there I would say, if there's best issue that you are more concerned about, it probably doesn't hurt to take out some of the soil and replenish it with fresh soil. But if you don't really have a serious pest issue that you think that you're concerned about overwintering on the soil, I wouldn't touch the soil. I would just add some compost.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said too. So yeah, 100%. I echo exactly what you said. And that's what I do. I mean, I just add some fresh compost into my beds before planting season, mix it all up, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw this one. So Aaron was saying, "Do you think onions are good companion plants for most veggies?" And yes, I mean in general, yes. Now they're not the best for everyone, but
Mhm.
in general, they are a very good companion plant. Same with
Yeah.
herbs, like all sorts of herbs, onions, garlic, all of those, and the flowers that we talked about today too. Like all of those just have really strong aromas, and it really can throw off the pests too from finding your plants. So that's how a lot of these work. So
Mhm. And I think the word that we can think about when it comes to that is biodiversity. When
yeah.
you, it's like, before we would think of like raised bed as like, oh, this is just for all the greens and all that stuff. But we're not thinking as far as biodiversity. Like if you add multiple different plant families in one raised bed, a lot of times they do really well. And even also you consider the height of the plants. That is another strategy that you have to think about when you're placing plants, because sometimes even with onions, I wanted to mention that uh, onion is a really great companion, but sometimes you have to think about like placement,
Mhm.
because if you put it somewhere where it's not really getting enough sunlight, maybe the onion will be the one struggling. So something to think about when you're considering companion planting.
Yeah, and I saw this question pop up too, and it's very similar to what you were talking about too with biodiversity in the garden. I
Mm-hmm.
like to get a mixture of different composts
Mm-hmm.
too. So whether it
Mm-hmm.
be a different mix of compost from me that I'm making or I get from somewhere, I have a really great local place. I know not everybody is here local in Oklahoma, but I love going to Minnick Materials. If you live anywhere around here, they have a like several different really good high quality compost, and I like to get like a little bit of each and mix them up together. And that's, I mean, seriously, it works amazing that way. So,
I like that
as,
idea.
as much variety of compost that you can
Mm-hmm.
have is better. Okay, so we do have a giveaway. So, um, one lucky winner here live with us today is going to have a 1 year free premium Seed to Spoon app subscription, along with a packet of Park Seed seeds to be planted
Mm-hmm.
with your companions. So, congratulations to the Good Life 817. So, send me an email at info@seedtospoon.net and I will get you all hooked up with your free goodies. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yay.
And yeah, and if you are, I mean, even if you're here live with us today after this post, like go back in, leave a comment, and you'll be entered in to win again. So I will do another giveaway at the beginning of next week. So I'm here live every, yeah, same time, same place. Ha! That's funny. I like that he's calling out. Yes, so our local place, Minnick Materials, they have what's called zoo poo because yeah, they get it from our local zoo and they turn it into
Oh.
so
Mhm.
I love that. I think it's really fun. I'm like, I have all sorts of animals out in my garden, all sorts of zoo poo. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I saw somebody asking too really quick about wormwood. I do want yeah, somebody gave a little bit of advice here, but I unfortunately do not have any advice for wormwood invading. Do you?
I don't.
Yeah, I so I mean, um, we can go into here into Growbot and say any advice for wormwood invading garden. There we go. Um, yeah, I mean manual removal, mulching, root barriers. Yeah, I mean there's not a whole lot of advice. Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of hopefully you can get some real world advice since some people in here have dealt with it before. But good luck. Um, well, thank you so much, Lannie, for joining us today. And this was super fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate the chance.
Okay. Well, thank you all, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye,
See ya.
everybody.